Want to discover how Cody Sanchez really built wealth
Yeah.
by owning profitable businesses
Mm.
instead of taking big risks?
Mm-hmm.
We're breaking down her book,
Okay.
Main Street Millionaire,
All right.
to see how she did it.
Cool.
I'm Andrew, and I'm here with Stephanie to help you unpack this.
It's interesting how Cody transitioned from that high-stakes world of Wall Street finance
Oh, yeah.
to become an entrepreneur focused on Main Street. What's refreshing is her mission to democratize wealth-building strategies,
Right.
showing that anyone can achieve financial freedom.
That's what drew me to her book.
Mm-hmm.
She's not peddling risky schemes or promising overnight riches.
Right.
Instead,
Yeah.
it's all about owning the right kind of businesses.
Okay.
And in the very first chapter,
Yeah.
Start Here,
Okay.
she tackles this head on.
All right.
You might think a good 9-to-5 job equals financial security,
Mhm.
but Cody calls that the 9-to-5 trap.
She argues that true financial freedom comes from ownership,
Oh, well.
specifically owning profitable, established, cash-flowing businesses.
Got it.
And think about it.
All right.
A laundromat that's been around for decades
Huh.
is probably doing something right.
Yeah.
That's the Lindy effect in action.
Interesting.
Things that have been successful for a long time are likely to continue being successful.
Okay, so we see that relying solely on a salary
Yeah.
won't set you free.
Right.
And these Main Street businesses have the potential for wealth generation.
Yeah.
But how do you find the right one?
Mm-hmm.
In chapter 2,
Oh.
which Cody titles
Yeah.
Step 1, Research, she breaks down business ownership into 3 levels:
Okay.
solo venture,
Mm-hmm.
hands-on CEO,
Uh-huh.
and on-deck operator.
A solo venture,
Mhm.
like a laundromat or vending machine business,
Yeah.
might be perfect for someone who wants to keep their day job or prefers minimal management.
Okay.
For someone with more experience and capital,
Got it.
the hands-on CEO role.
Yeah.
Leading a business with employees might be more fitting.
But before you jump into any business,
Okay.
Cody has some warnings.
Right?
Restaurants, for example,
Mhm.
often come with high failure rates,
Yeah.
and banks can be hesitant to lend to them.
Mm-hmm.
Retail storefronts struggle against online competition
Oh, yeah.
and face high overhead costs.
Right.
And then there are consulting firms, which are very dependent on key personnel
Mm-hmm.
and face the challenges of winning contracts
Yeah.
through a tough bidding process.
Even Amazon businesses and dry cleaners aren't safe bets.
Oh, really?
With Amazon,
Yeah.
you lack price control and face fierce competition.
Oh, I see.
Dry cleaners often face environmental regulations
Oh.
and employee challenges that can really impact your profits.
So how do we navigate this minefield
Right.
and find the right business?
Mhm.
What are the key questions we should be asking?
Cody outlines 3 crucial steps.
Okay.
First, you need to define your owner experience. What kind of lifestyle do you want as a business owner?
Okay.
Are you looking for time freedom,
Mhm.
high income,
Yeah.
or something low risk?
Then it's time to look inward.
Right.
What are your existing skills and network?
Mm-hmm.
How can you leverage what you already know to succeed in a business?
Finally,
Okay.
Cody advises creating a deal box,
Oh.
which outlines specific criteria for your ideal acquisition.
All right.
Think
Yeah.
location,
Mm-hmm.
industry size,
Yeah.
financials, and any other non-negotiables.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's like having a checklist to quickly evaluate potential businesses.
Okay.
But it's not just about finding a business for sale.
Mm-hmm.
It's about finding the right opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And in this same chapter,
Okay.
Step 1, Research,
Yeah.
she introduces the idea of motivated sellers.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Oh.
Instead of searching for businesses publicly listed for sale, Cody encourages looking for those hidden opportunities.
And
You know, the owners who are facing life changes
Uh-huh.
or just ready to move on.
Oh.
She even has a catchy name for it,
All right.
the 7 Ds of why sellers sell.
Got it.
Think death,
Whoa.
divorce, disease,
Wow.
distress,
All right.
dullness,
Okay.
departure,
Bye.
and even disagreement.
Interesting.
These situations,
Yeah.
while difficult for the seller,
Ah.
can create win-win scenarios.
Okay.
The buyer gets a potentially great deal, and the seller gets a graceful exit.
Let's say we found a promising business and a motivated seller. What's next? Chapter 3, titled Step 2, Invest.
Yeah.
Delves into the art of making the deal.
And she starts by challenging our conventional thinking about debt.
Interesting.
Yeah, most people view debt negatively, but Cody explains how the wealthy actually use debt to their advantage to build wealth.
Instead of misusing debt and ending up trapped,
Right.
Cody wants us to learn how to use debt as leverage
Mm-hmm.
to grow our wealth.
Yeah,
I think this is a really crucial mindset shift for a lot of people,
absolutely.
especially when it comes to acquiring a business.
She specifically highlights seller financing,
Okay.
where the seller,
Yeah.
instead of a traditional bank, finances the business purchase.
So instead of going through the hassle of a bank loan,
Right.
you're working directly with the seller on the financing terms.
Exactly.
And Cody even outlines a few creative acquisition strategies,
Yeah.
like sweat equity deals and profit purchases
Right.
that could minimize upfront costs.
Yeah.
I'm curious about those.
Okay.
Can you give an example of how a sweat equity deal might work?
Imagine you're a marketing whiz.
Okay.
You find a promising business
Yeah.
that's struggling to get customers online. You could offer to revamp their website and social media
Okay.
in exchange for a percentage of the company.
Got it.
Cody actually shares an example from her own life
Yeah.
where she used her skills and network to bring in clients for a podcast editing company and in return received a portion of the ongoing sales.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
You're essentially using your expertise as currency,
Right.
even if you don't have a ton of cash up
Yeah.
front.
Exactly.
And a profit purchase involves structuring the deal so the seller is paid back from the business's future profits.
Uh-huh.
It's like the business is financing its own sale.
Right.
Okay, financing options are important,
Mm-hmm.
but what about actually negotiating the deal?
Yeah.
Cody shares some specific tactics
That
that have
like.
helped her secure favorable terms, right?
She's all about being proactive and assertive,
Okay,
but in a respectful way.
got it.
She emphasizes the importance of naming your price first to set the anchor early in the negotiation.
Okay.
Then back up your proposed valuation with market data or comps to show you've done your research. And lastly, focus on a win-win scenario that benefits both you and the seller.
So it's not about trying to win at the expense of the other person.
Right.
It's about finding terms that make both parties feel good about the deal.
Exactly.
And you might be wondering what happens once you've found the business,
Yeah.
secured the financing, and negotiated the deal.
Right.
That's where the real work begins.
Uh-huh.
And that takes us right into chapter 4,
Okay.
step 3, command, which is all about taking control of your new business.
Okay.
This is where things get interesting.
Yeah.
We've bought the business, but now what?
Right.
Do we just jump in and start calling the shots?
Yeah.
What does Cody recommend?
We'll dive into Cody's strategies for taking charge,
Got it.
building trust with your new team,
Yeah.
and setting yourself up for success.
So stay tuned.
Okay.
We're continuing our journey through Cody Sanchez's Main Street Millionaire. What do you do after you've acquired a business? Chapter 4.
Yeah.
Step 3, command.
Okay.
Dives right into this.
All right.
And Cody emphasizes the importance of having a good operator to run the day-to-day.
Now, you might be tempted to handle everything yourself,
Yeah.
especially if you have experience in the industry,
Mhm.
but Cody warns against that.
Okay.
She's seen firsthand what can go wrong even when you trust people, like family members,
Right.
who might not be the best fit for the job.
So finding the right operator is mission critical,
Yeah.
even if it means admitting you can't do it all yourself.
Exactly.
What qualities should we be looking for in a potential operator?
Cody highlights a few key areas.
Okay.
First and foremost,
Yeah.
they need a strong moral compass.
Got it.
You need to be able to trust this person implicitly. They should have a proven track record of success,
Okay.
demonstrating they can actually get things done.
Right.
Leadership skills are essential
Yeah.
because they'll be managing a team and making key decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And ideally, you want someone who can take work off your plate, not add to it.
So you're looking for someone who's reliable,
Right.
competent,
Right.
and a good leader.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay.
But Cody goes a step further.
Uh-huh.
She actually recommends finding someone better than you at running the business.
Exactly.
That's pretty counterintuitive.
It is.
Yeah.
But think about it.
Okay.
As the owner,
Yeah.
your strength lies in identifying promising businesses
Yeah.
and making the acquisition.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to be the best at everything,
Right.
especially the day-to-day operations.
Yeah.
Bringing in someone who's a true expert in those areas
Uh-huh.
can free you up to focus on the bigger picture.
So it's all about playing to your strengths
Yeah,
and building a team that can excel where you might not.
right.
Now, once you've found this superstar operator,
Yeah.
how do you motivate them to perform at their best?
Okay.
Is it all about offering a big salary?
Cody argues that money isn't the only motivator,
Oh, really?
and she actually recommends against simply throwing a huge salary at the problem.
Okay.
Instead, she suggests tying compensation to performance through bonuses and incentives linked to specific milestones or key performance indicators.
So they're directly rewarded for hitting targets that contribute to the overall success of the business. It's like having skin in the game.
Exactly.
But how do you actually find these potential operators?
Oh,
I mean, where do you even start looking?
Cody offers a range of strategies beyond just posting a job online.
Yeah.
She encourages tapping into your network,
Oh.
utilizing recruiters, and even considering poaching talent from competitors.
Now, I've always been a bit intimidated by the idea of poaching someone from a competitor.
Right.
Is that really an ethical thing to do?
Cody addresses this directly in the book.
Okay.
She emphasizes the importance of doing it ethically and professionally.
Got it.
It's not about trying to steal someone away in a shady way,
Yeah.
but rather presenting them with a compelling opportunity
Okay.
that might be a better fit for their skills and goals.
So it's about being transparent and respectful throughout the process.
Exactly.
Once you've identified some potential candidates, how do you go about interviewing them and making sure you choose the right person?
Cody provides a really structured approach to interviewing and shortlisting candidates.
Okay.
She recommends using a standardized set of questions for each person to ensure consistency and fairness.
Got it.
This also helps you avoid making decisions based on gut feelings or personal biases.
It makes a lot of sense.
Right.
It's about having a clear, objective process to evaluate each candidate based on their qualifications and experience.
Right.
Does she provide any specific examples of questions that might be helpful?
Absolutely.
Okay.
She includes a sample interview matrix and a list of insightful questions that go beyond just assessing skills.
Interesting.
You want to understand their values, how they approach problem solving, and whether they be a good cultural fit for your business.
So it's not just about finding someone who can do the job.
Right.
It's about finding someone who aligns with your vision and values.
Exactly.
And once you've found that perfect person,
Yeah.
what happens next?
Cody provides guidance on crafting a compelling offer and onboarding them effectively.
Got it.
It's not just about getting them in the door. It's about setting them up for success and integrating them smoothly into the existing team and culture.
It's almost like you're building a relationship with this person.
Right.
You want them to feel valued and empowered to contribute their best work.
Exactly.
Now, in Chapter 4,
Okay.
we're moving beyond just hiring an operator to the actual day-to-day of running the business. This is where things can get real right.
Right.
You're stepping into a new environment, inheriting a team, and trying to make your mark.
Okay.
How does Cody suggest navigating those first few weeks and months as the new owner?
She stresses that those initial interactions with your new team are crucial.
Okay.
You need to establish trust, clearly communicate your vision for the future, and set clear expectations from the outset.
Got it.
And she even provides a script for that very first meeting with employees.
I love that she gives such practical advice.
Yeah.
It takes the guesswork out of those potentially awkward early interactions.
Right.
What are some of the key points she emphasizes in that first meeting?
She focuses on three main things.
Okay.
Express gratitude, acknowledge the team's expertise, and invite open dialogue. It's about showing respect for the existing team and the legacy you've inherited, while also signaling that you're open to their input and ideas.
It sounds like it's all about finding that balance between acknowledging the past and setting the stage for a new chapter.
Exactly.
But let's be honest, not every transition is going to be smooth sailing.
Right.
Some employees might be resistant to change or apprehensive about the new ownership.
Yeah.
How does Cody suggest handling those situations?
She acknowledges that transitions can be bumpy and you might encounter some pushback.
Right.
Cody even shares a story of a new owner who faced immediate resistance from employees who felt threatened by the changes.
So it's about being prepared for those challenges and having a plan to navigate them.
Exactly.
What are some specific strategies Cody recommends for overcoming those initial hurdles and truly taking command of the business?
She advocates for clear and consistent communication. Keep your team informed about changes. Be transparent about your decision-making process and create opportunities for feedback.
Okay.
She also recommends implementing systems and processes
Got it.
to ensure everyone is aligned and working towards the same goals.
So it's about bringing a sense of order and structure to the business, especially during a time of transition.
Right.
Are there any specific tools or frameworks she suggests using to achieve this?
She's a big fan of setting clear performance goals,
Okay.
documenting processes, and creating standard operating procedures,
Got it.
or SOPs.
Okay.
This helps to streamline operations,
Yeah.
reduce confusion, and create a more efficient work environment.
Right.
She also stresses the importance of data-driven decision-making. Track those key metrics, analyze your financials, and use that information to guide your actions and identify areas for improvement.
I can see how this would be especially valuable for a new owner
Right.
who might not be as familiar with the nuances of the business.
Yeah.
It's about moving from gut feelings to informed decisions based on data and evidence.
Right.
Does she offer any specific tools or resources to help with this?
She's got you covered.
Okay.
Cody provides practical tools
Yeah.
like a P&L template to help analyze financials
Right.
and make strategic decisions. She even tackles the sensitive topic of firing employees,
Oh, wow.
which, let's face it,
Yeah.
is something every business owner might have to face at some point.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
No one wants to let people go,
Right?
but sometimes it's necessary for the health of the business.
Exactly.
How does she approach this difficult topic?
She urges owners to handle those situations with clarity, empathy, and swift action when needed.
Got it.
It's about being direct and decisive, but always with respect for the individuals involved.
So it's about finding that balance
Yeah.
between being a compassionate leader and making tough decisions for the good of the business.
Exactly.
Now, once you've got a solid foundation in place,
Okay.
it's time to start thinking about growth.
Yeah.
And that brings us to Chapter 5,
Right.
Step 4, Harness,
Okay.
where Cody unveils her strategies for 10xing your profits.
She kicks it off with a surprising example.
Oh.
A pressure washing business.
A pressure washing business.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Tell me more.
Right.
What are the key ingredients in her secret sauce?
She starts with lead generation.
Got it.
It's all about attracting more potential customers through a variety of marketing strategies, both online and offline.
Right.
Think optimizing your website, partnering with local businesses, or even using targeted social media ads.
So it's about casting a wider net and getting your message in front of the right people.
Right.
What happens once you've got those leads?
Okay.
How do you convert them into paying customers?
That's where upsells come in.
Okay.
Cody emphasizes the power of offering additional services to increase the value of each transaction.
Got it.
Instead of just pressure washing a driveway, you might offer packages that include cleaning decks,
Okay.
fences,
Yeah.
or even windows.
It's about going beyond the basic service
Right.
and providing a more comprehensive solution that adds value for the customer.
Exactly.
And she stresses the importance of establishing recurring revenue.
Right.
This could be anything from offering subscription services for regular cleanings to incentivizing customers to sign up for maintenance contracts.
Yeah,
That's smart.
it is.
Recurring revenue creates a predictable income stream and helps to build long-term relationships with your customers.
Exactly.
And of course, she tackles the power of reviews and referrals. Positive word-of-mouth marketing can be incredibly powerful,
It is.
especially for local businesses like pressure washing.
Absolutely.
Reviews are crucial these days.
Yeah.
People rely heavily on online reviews
Yeah.
to make purchasing decisions.
Right.
So encouraging happy customers to share their experiences can really make a difference.
Absolutely.
Cody provides specific tactics for generating positive reviews and leveraging them to boost your online presence and attract more customers. By implementing these strategies,
Yeah.
you can dramatically increase the profitability of even a seemingly simple business.
Exactly.
It's about working smarter, not harder,
Right.
by implementing systems and strategies
Yeah.
that amplify your efforts and maximize your returns.
Exactly.
And she stresses the importance of systematizing those growth strategies.
Right.
Create processes, document your results,
Yeah.
and refine your approach over time.
Okay.
It's about building a repeatable system for success that can be applied to any business.
Right.
So we've covered a lot of ground,
Yeah.
from taking command of your acquired business to implementing growth strategies that can 10x your profits.
Right.
But the journey doesn't end there, right? Cody also provides guidance on scaling up responsibly.
She does.
Right.
Chapter 5 continues with a deep dive into how to expand your business in a sustainable and strategic way.
All right.
This is where the empire building concept comes in.
Oh, interesting.
She uses a step-by-step example of how to start with one small business and strategically add new acquisitions to create a diversified portfolio of income-generating assets.
I'm all about empire building.
Awesome.
What kind of example does she use to illustrate this concept?
She brings back the laundromat.
Oh, really?
Starting with the initial acquisition.
Yeah.
She shows how you could layer on additional income streams through vending machines, wash and fold services, delivery fleets, and even real estate.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's like taking one successful acquisition and using it as a platform to launch a whole network of related businesses.
Exactly.
And Cody stresses that it's not about diversifying just for the sake of it.
Right.
It's about strategically aligning your acquisitions with your existing expertise and infrastructure.
Exactly.
So you're not just buying random businesses.
Right.
You're building a cohesive portfolio of assets that complement each other and create synergistic opportunities.
Exactly. And she provides insights into various acquisition strategies, like vertical and horizontal acquisitions, as well as asset acquisitions, which can often be done with minimal upfront costs.
She also discusses acqui-hires, which involve acquiring a company primarily for its talented team.
Right.
That's an interesting concept. Can you elaborate on that?
Absolutely. She actually shares her own experience with acquiring a media company to bring their talented team on board and enhance her own company's capabilities.
It's like getting a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
Acquiring a business and gaining a talented team to help you grow.
Exactly.
But scaling up comes with its own set of challenges, right?
It does.
How does Cody address those potential pitfalls?
She doesn't shy away from the potential downsides of growth.
Yeah.
She stresses the importance of finding the right people, building a strong culture, and establishing clear systems and processes to manage the complexities of a growing business.
So it's about making sure that growth doesn't come at the expense of quality or control.
Exactly.
And I think that's a really important point for entrepreneurs to keep in mind.
Yeah, it is.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of growth and lose sight of the fundamentals.
Absolutely.
And she wraps up chapter 5 with a reminder that eventually you might want to exit the business.
Right.
It's not something many entrepreneurs like to think about.
Yeah.
But having an exit strategy is crucial.
It is.
For maximizing your returns and ensuring a smooth transition.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
It is.
Building a business is a journey. And every journey eventually comes to an end.
Right.
So how does Cody approach this often overlooked aspect of entrepreneurship?
She dedicates a whole section to developing an exit strategy.
Oh, wow.
And she starts by acknowledging that selling a business can be an emotionally charged process.
Right.
It's something you've poured your heart and soul into.
Yeah.
So letting go can be difficult.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's like saying goodbye to a part of yourself.
It is.
Does she offer any advice on how to handle the emotional side of exiting a business?
She emphasizes the importance of self-care. Finding support from mentors or peers, and having a plan for what you'll do after you exit.
Got it.
It's about ensuring that you're not just financially successful, but also personally fulfilled.
It's a holistic approach to building a business.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that she recognizes that both the journey and the destination matter.
Right.
But let's get back to the practical side of things.
Okay.
What are some of the key things to consider when developing an exit strategy?
She shares the story of her friend Sam Parr, a successful entrepreneur who sold his company, The Hustle, to HubSpot, and experienced a mix of relief and regret afterward.
Oh, wow.
It highlights the complex emotions involved in letting go of something you've built.
So it's not always a straightforward celebration.
It isn't.
There can be mixed feelings and a sense of loss, even when the deal is successful.
Exactly.
And she uses the example of another friend, Mark Vlaskamp, who built a multi-million-dollar laundromat business and successfully sold it within a few years.
Wow.
This shows that exiting doesn't have to take decades. It's about strategic planning and execution.
Exactly.
So it's possible to achieve a successful exit relatively quickly if you have the right plan in place.
Exactly.
What are some of the key elements of a solid exit strategy?
Cody provides insights into what buyers look for when acquiring a business, emphasizing strong financials, streamlined processes, loyal employees, and a business that can run without the owner's constant involvement.
It sounds like building a business that's attractive to potential buyers involves creating a system that's not overly reliant on the owner.
Right.
That way the business can continue to thrive even after you've moved on.
Exactly.
That's the key.
It is.
And she provides specific tactics for preparing your business for sale. Including optimizing your financials, documenting processes.
And even creating a sales team.
To manage the transaction effectively.
Exactly.
So it's about treating the sale of your business like a well-orchestrated event, almost like a product launch.
Right.
You're positioning the business in the best possible light to attract the right buyers and maximize your return.
Exactly.
And she addresses the role of brokers, highlighting the benefits of working with an experienced professional who can help navigate the complexities of the sales process.
Right.
I can see how a broker could be a valuable asset.
Yeah, they can.
Especially if you're unfamiliar with the intricacies of selling a business.
Exactly.
It's like having a guide to help you through the process and ensure you get the best possible deal.
Right. And she wraps up the chapter by acknowledging that while the financial rewards are important, exiting a business is also about finding the right buyer who aligns with your vision and values.
Right.
It's about ensuring that your legacy continues even after you've moved on.
It's about finding that sense of closure. And knowing that the business you've built will be in good hands. And that brings us to the end of Chapter 5.
Yeah.
From taking command of your new business to implementing growth strategies and even developing an exit plan.
Exactly.
We've only scratched the surface of Cody's insights.
We have.
There's still so much to explore in the final chapter of Main Street Millionaire.
Right.
As we delve into her concluding thoughts and powerful call to action.
All right.
We'll uncover the larger societal trends she sees unfolding, and explore her vision for how individuals can take control of their financial futures.
Got it.
Stay tuned for the final part of our journey through Main Street Millionaire.
Sounds good.
You've learned how to find the right business, negotiate the deal, manage the team, and even scale up. Now, in the last chapter, she brings it all together with some powerful concluding thoughts.
She revisits her core message about the power of ownership, arguing that acquiring established businesses can be a more reliable path to wealth than those risky startups you hear about all the time.
It's a refreshing perspective in a world obsessed with the next big tech unicorn, right?
It is.
Cody reminds us that there's another way, a path that's often overlooked, but can be just as rewarding. If not more so.
Absolutely.
And she recaps that RICH method she's laid out throughout the book. Research, Invest, Command, and Harness.
It's a framework that can be applied to any business acquisition, guiding you through each step of the process.
And think back to all the practical tools and strategies she shared along the way. From evaluating businesses and negotiating deals to building teams and implementing growth tactics. She really breaks it down into manageable steps.
But Cody doesn't stop there. She goes beyond just individual success. And highlights a larger societal trend she calls the silent war. Main Street versus Wall Street.
Now that sounds a bit ominous.
Right.
What's she getting at here?
She argues that there's a battle going on for ownership with large corporations and investment firms increasingly acquiring small businesses and even real estate.
Interesting.
She points out that in 2022 alone, large firms bought 1 out of every 4 houses and 1 out of every 3 local businesses.
Wow. Those are some staggering statistics.
They are.
It makes you wonder what the long-term implications of this trend might be. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But it does raise some questions about the future of entrepreneurship and wealth creation. If individuals are being priced out of ownership, how do we ensure that everyone has the opportunity to build wealth and participate in the economy?
Exactly.
So it's not just about personal success. It's about preserving the balance of power and ensuring a level playing field for entrepreneurs. What does Cody propose as a solution?
Her message is a call to action.
Okay.
She wants individuals to understand the power of ownership and to actively participate in the silent war by acquiring their own businesses and building their own wealth.
Got it.
It's about becoming part of the solution, not just passive observers.
So instead of complaining about the problem,
Right.
she's empowering us to take action and shape our own destinies.
Exactly.
And she ends the book with a reminder that this journey isn't just about financial success.
Right.
It's about building a life of meaning and purpose. It's about finding businesses that align with your passions and values.
It's about creating something you're proud of, something that contributes to your community and makes a positive impact on the world around you.
She stresses that becoming a Main Street millionaire isn't a get-rich-quick scheme.
Right.
It's about finding fulfillment in the process of building and growing a successful business.
Yeah.
It's about creating a legacy
Right.
that extends beyond just financial wealth.
Yeah.
Cody's book is both a masterclass in business acquisition and a powerful manifesto for the entrepreneurial spirit. She provides a roadmap to financial freedom and a call to action to take control of our destinies.
So if you're tired of the 9-to-5 grind,
Okay.
if you're dreaming of building something of your own, if you're ready to embrace the challenges and rewards of entrepreneurship, Main Street Millionaire is a must-read.
Cody's insights and strategies can empower you to unlock your potential and achieve financial freedom on your own terms.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe you'll become the next Main Street millionaire.
Thanks for joining us on this exploration of Cody Sanchez's Main Street Millionaire.
Right.
We hope you found her insights as valuable as we have.
Until next time.
Okay.
Keep learning,
Yeah.
keep exploring, and keep building your own path to success.
That's good.